Hey guys, what's up? And welcome to another episode of Brew Build. Today we are at a build you haven't seen, I would imagine. I don't believe I showed this in any other video. I recently, it's been a couple weeks since we've done Brew Build, been doing some time-lapse stuff, which I am so happy you guys have been enjoying that. They're so fun. And so definitely going to continue that. But we're here in our world over by our little village right there. That's where our little mending villager is. And still 1.13, as you can see from the iron golem that is dying. Still 1.13. Haven't updated yet because I wanted to wait for a bit to be able to get more iron. Currently, I've been AFKing here the past couple weeks since we haven't been doing episodes. And we've got 2 chests and going on 3. And what I would like to do is fill these up, all 4. I would like to have 4 chests of iron. That makes like 28 stacks of iron blocks, and I think that is a good number to have. Or it makes, how much does it make? 27? Let's see. It makes a single chest of iron blocks, I think. So 27 or something like that. Maybe 26. I don't remember. The exact number doesn't matter. But that's why there hasn't been Brew Build, and also why we are not updated. So I just wanted to show you this because I wanted to just get not get your opinion. I guess I could get your opinion on the glass, but we'll take a look at that later. But yeah, so this is what I've been kind of doing. It's a very, very simple iron farm. Only gets like 40 iron an hour or something like that. And it's been working though. It's been working. There's like 25 villagers crammed in that one spot, and it's great. And then there's 25 in the opposite corner as well. And then 6 doors here, 6 doors right on the other side there, and then the same mirrored over there. And it's a double spawning platform. I'll put a link in the description to show you, like, if you want to see how it was built. And then we've got a really janky railway system, which I need to tear down because these rails will come in handy for our farm, or not our farm, but our city, because we're going to have the interconnecting railway system underneath everything to go around and get to places. So I had this really janky setup where they would this is like a villager breeder, and so babies would run off the edge, get in the water system, get picked up by a minecart down in that little hole, get launched over here around, go up, and then fall down and come all the way up here. And then land over there, and then I would put them where they needed to be. Same went for over there in our other villager breeder area, and yeah, that's pretty good. I also traded, I didn't show this in the final clip because I'm actually recording this in the future because I am over here AFKing again. I never showed the exactly like why I've been over here as well, because I traded all of our rotten flesh from our mob farm, all of it. It was like 7 shulker boxes worth of rotten flesh to our guys over there, and got 6 or 7 mending books. I think I got 6 mending books to just have in storage. So that is good because we needed that. We needed some storage. We needed some mending backups because I don't think he's going to be a mending villager when we update. So we have some mending books all in storage, and I think that's good. Now, today what we're going to do is do a time lapse of some city planning, and it took so long. That's why the video is late, because it took seriously so long to do, because we had to place like 6,000 stone or something and then do the planning just so we could have a flat space to work. So that took a little bit. We're basically out of stone. I think I have a half a shulker box of stone left. But I'm glad we gathered all that stone before. And it's not terribly hard to get. And I like mining for stone, so it's not that bad. One final thing to say before we jump into the time lapse is my statistics have been reset. So the most placed, the reason I know 10,000 or 6,000 is because I didn't place any stone before this, and for some reason my world got reset in stats wise. I'm pretty sure that my entire like character data just got deleted, Minecraft crashed randomly when trying to work with the Timelapse stuff, and it crashed on my cam account and deleted this player data. It was very strange, not really sure why, but that's a little sad. So I'm going to try and go through and try and find old player data from a backup and see if that works to restore everything, but that's okay. If not, then it's whatever. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm going to stay right here, and we are going to have some iron farming go on. And yeah, I'm just going to stay right here, and you guys enjoy the time lapse. I'm going to be back, and I'm going to talk to you during the time lapse. All right, guys, so we are here. We are building up the framework of what will eventually be a city, and I gotta say, I'm really excited to see what this is gonna turn out. Just did some city planning for the purposes of today, but I think it's gonna be quite fun. And yeah, let's just jump right into it. Sorry this video is late. Yeah, work has just been busy this week. Usually during the work week, I get about usually 3 projects a week, and this week has been really a lot. I got like 9 projects to do this week. Granted, they were all very small projects, but it's still 9 projects to do, and so this week's been just very busy and very kind of monotonous as well. They're all very similar. If you don't know what I do, I'm a designer, a graphic designer. I prefer to work on like logos and things like that, but for my job, I mainly work in more communication design, being like presentations. So like a sales representative will they'll put all their content into a presentation like Google Slides or PowerPoint. They'll give it to me, and I will take all their content and make it look decent. Make it look better and make it look good, and probably like brand the whole thing towards whoever they're pitching it to, so that it resonates more with the customer and it helps with the whole selling process and stuff. And so that's kind of more the design type of stuff that I do. And so I got like 9 presentations to do, and usually I can spend about 8 hours a day on just one presentation. And probably knock out one presentation in a day. If it's like if it's like a 10 to 12 slide deck, that's usually about a day's worth of work. Sometimes we get these like slides that are like one slide takes 2 hours, and those are a bit annoying. And those are the projects that I've been getting. So it's been busy. So anyways, getting into this whole time-lapse stuff, what we've been doing. So I placed around 6,000 blocks of stone, and the only reason why I know that is because of our statistics getting reset. That was a whole bunch of nonsense, and I'm not happy about that, but it's okay. We'll live and move on from that. But I did learn that we placed about 6,000 blocks of stone from that, so that's pretty fun. One thing we are going to have to do is, or one thing I'm going to make us do, is come up with a slightly different build style for the city itself. Because the more and more I was thinking about it, the more I was like, I want this city to feel massive when you get to it, when you're like in it, walking around the city and on like the street section, quote in quotes, streets. And the only way I can imagine doing that is having really tall buildings with a lot of stuff overhead when you're down on the more of the walkway areas. And so that's going to require us to have a slightly different build style. And, you know, as different as it may feel, having the city be very different style than what the house is, like our mob farm, it reflects real life. Our cities, like I don't live in a skyscraper, I live in a suburban home. And so that's very different styles, but they mesh together. So we're going to figure out a way to make a build style that meshes really well with what we've already built, but is also very different, but looks like it's made by the same people. Don't know if that makes sense, but that's what we're going to be doing today. So the sort of outline that I'm building right now is what I want to be like the main sort of entrance to the city via boat, airships, whatever. And I want this to be kind of like the main strip where all the different shops and things are. I focused kind of on the shopping side of things. I think that's what this district is going to be more all about. Is just the shopping and stuff. And so this city is definitely not limited to this octagon shape. As you can see, some of the builds later on will kind of, some of the outlines will look like they're going to be going off or should be going off the shape, and they will. This is just a starting point that I wanted to get to just because it's massive and I want to be able to see how much we can build here and how much bigger we need to make it. And so I'm going to be outlining a whole bunch of different stuff here. None of this is actually like going to be like set in stone or anything like that. It's just kind of an outline to be able to get an idea. And I'm going to go through a little bit and talk about it in just a few seconds. So why don't you guys just sit back and chillax and enjoy the rest of this little time lapse. Enjoy the music, and I'll see you guys on the other side. All right, guys, we are done. One thing to show you really quick that you're probably noticing or not noticing is I changed the glass texture. This is just regular glass. Before we had kind of a busy texture that had this entire pane kind of covered in iron sort of thingies. And I wanted, because I made this out of regular glass, I wanted to be able to see my little entrapped drowned. And so, or Walter as his name is. And so I changed it, and I actually I really like this. I think it's pretty cool. It makes this feel very cool as well. And I like having the wooden framing instead of like a steel framing just to give some variety. So that's a texture that I've been changing. I also have been changing all of the iron textures as well. Let's see if we can show some. Where's some iron? Do I have any? Oh, I don't have much. Here, let me see if I can get some iron. All right, well, I couldn't get any iron because I don't know. I don't have any. I've used a lot of it, apparently. Oh, I remember. I used it all on the hoppers. That's right. So I do have iron. It's just at the iron farm that you saw previously. We have tons of iron. But this is one texture that I'm having issues with. So this is supposed to be an iron bar. Like, it's supposed to be an iron bar, but it messes up, and so I'm figuring this out. But I've been changing the iron to more of a blue steel to match the lantern texture that we're going to be getting in 1.14, or we have in 1.14, since it technically released, but I'm not in that yet. You can't tell too much here. Let's see if I can grab a torch. I don't know if that's going to help. Yeah, so it is a, there we go. Let's get some more torches in here. So it's a bluer texture, and I like it. I really do like it. I think it's pretty good. I think I'm going to be changing all of the, do we have iron doors made? Okay, we have an iron door. Yeah, that'll work. This will show what I've been doing. So the iron bars and the iron door, I guess let's put the iron door here. So I've been working with the iron door using Germsy's texture, but then I've been adding a little bit of a pattern to it. It's kind of like a lattice pattern from like ancient Nordic sort of religion, but you can't see it too terribly much, but it adds just a little bit. I didn't want it to be like obvious, but I wanted it to be like it's there, but not there. Now it looks like the bottom is not as blue. Okay, there we go. It just was not lit up. So as you can see, that's the color. It's like a steel blue, and I like it. I think it's pretty cool. So I think I'm going to change a lot of our iron textures for things like this to match the lantern, because I want to try and incorporate that into our world. Oh, that's still there. See, I don't know what's wrong with that. I've talked to Jermsy about it. He doesn't really know what's going on, so we'll figure it out. But what you saw today, I didn't mean for this to end up being just a huge time-lapse sort of thing, but this was quite the project. Yeah, so this city is going to be huge, and it's very big. Let me land on this balloon here. So the city is about what, 196 by 196, like this way and this way. And yeah, we're gonna be starting just on this sector here. And this shape is the original idea I had, but I don't want to limit it to just being this shape. So as you can see, I've got some buildings here that are sticking out, and that are kind of like right here and cut off. We're going to have them extend out and be full buildings. And then we may have a couple more buildings and stuff sticking out. And the city, I want to extend out around this as well. But I wanted this to be like the core sort of shape. And then, yeah, kind of just go with that. Now, one thing I did want to do with you, just to show you exactly how, one, big this is that's how tall it will be. That's the very tippity top. That's build height right there. And I've got a little concrete maker here. And so let's just build straight up. So as I think what I've said in the time lapse, I haven't actually edited the time lapse yet, but when I talk in the time lapse, I'm hopefully explaining what's happening. And so this idea is like there's a main port area, and I want the city to extend that way a bit more. I don't necessarily want it to extend on the diagonals a ton. I kind of want it to reach out in like that direction a bit more and that direction a bit more. And I guess that direction. Kind of in all four cardinal directions, but not in the diagonals too much. Just to make this feel more epic. But the thing that is going to be interesting is, okay, we need up here. So we're going to take that and put that there. And so this, I want to show you how tall I'm thinking the buildings are going to be, because I've been having a lot of thoughts on the city and how to go about building it. And we're still doing similar to that style, but I've been thinking through, and I kind of thought, and if I'm repeating what I'm saying in the time lapse, I'm sorry. But I've been thinking through exactly how I wanted to make this city different. And let's go maybe a little more. About here, probably. What height is this? 213, 256 is the top. Let's go boop, boop, boop. So now we have exactly 40 blocks to go, and that's how tall we can make the engine room. So this entire hexagon right here, this internal hexagon, is going to be like a big, huge open area with a floating giant engine. That's going to be our creeper farm. And I think the creeper farm I'm going to try and make into a circle, kind of like this. It's going to be another freaking circle, but I think that could be kind of cool. And then to have them fall like all the way down, like way down there, and then kind of like be like the scraps are falling down there, and that's where we get the gunpowder. But this is about as high as I want to make this. This is about the height of what I want to make these sides of things. Like this building I want to be very similar to this, but I want this kind of diagonal structure here, the octagon that's going to go around, because I'm thinking this will be an octagon of sorts. We may have, I don't know exactly. I think the internal structure is going to be an octagon with some things along here. I don't really know. We could do a giant storage system all the way around. That could be interesting. make this like our main storage base. That could be kind of interesting because this is going to be far and away the biggest and hardest to build city that we have done and probably will do. So I don't really know, but yeah, I don't know. This is how high I want things to be. And yeah, so we take half our half our life in damage falling from there. So imagine these buildings going up even like to there, these outer buildings, because the idea that I'm going to go for to make it feel very epic is I want the buildings to go from being like a decent size, like 2 to 3 story building, all the way up to that height. And so these buildings are going to be towering above us. And I want to have like bridges that go across. And the reason this one's so big is because we're going to this has to be big enough for a good big sized boat like that to be able to come through here and unload. And so this is going to be kind of like a direct transport area. And this is going to be like a nice, not necessarily dock. I think we're going to have this be like a giant loading area right here. We may push this. We may actually push this back a bit so this building can be, or give a giant arch, or I don't know exactly what, but I want this to be like a giant ship loading area. And so things need to be really tall for one, and things need to be able to, feel giant. Because I want like, if that building over there is as tall as this, there can be like multiple bridges and stuff to get across. And that's how the walkways work in this city. So I'm just in the planning stages right now. Next week, we're probably going to update to 1.14. It kind of depends on where my iron supplies are. Because I know there's some bugs that are still getting worked out for 1.14. And so I want to have those get squashed a bit before we jump into things. Oh, okay. So that it was actually, let's see, 64 minus 11 is 53. So it's 52 because there's one more block. Actually, no. So it's 54 blocks tall. That's how tall the buildings are going to be. If you want to know. Just simple math right there. So I don't remember what I was going to say. But, we're not updating quite yet just because of 1.14 being new. I want them to be able to squash bugs. Final bugs that could cause issues, and I think that could be fun. Or not fun, but I'd rather it be fun to update. I don't know where I was going with that, but I wanted to just say thank you guys for watching today's episode. Sorry it's a little different. Got a lot of planning. This week at work was busy, so didn't have a ton of time to do a lot here in our world, but this actually did take quite a while. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with where things are. And this is definitely like, these are just like layouts. These are not defined areas. And so I think next episode, what we should do is work in 1.14 to try and get I should probably sleep so that mobs don't spawn. We should try and get a build style solidified for the city because my reasoning for changing up the build style a bit is because cities don't emulate what normal humans live in. Like they live in skyscrapers and giant buildings. And so that's kind of what I wanted to make this, and to have the outer edges be more like this style, where the city will emulate kind of the roof style and have hangovers and stuff. And balconies and things that emulate the roof style. But I want to try and change up what the build style between the city and the outskirts. So that's kind of my thought process. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope you enjoyed. Hope you're excited for this. I definitely am. This is it's a lot of, we're out of stone. We're basically out of stone. So we're going to stick to this quadrant for a little bit just to get a build style in and get it kind of going. And I'll start filling in the other quadrants as we go. And just to let you know, the walkways are not going to be stone. They're all going to be airways, and there's going to be like walkways made out of wood, and there's going to be air in between each building, and it's all going to be individualized. Just right now, everything's stone, so we can easily build up everything. So anyways, I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, leave a like in real life. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. Join the little family we've got going here. And I will see you guys in the next episode.